T-minus 50 seconds. T-minus 40 seconds. T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.
That is right, on the planet. Welcome to Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. I am back again with none other than my tag partner and someone who is making their debut here. So I'm going to let Mika introduce herself and let the good people know who you are and what you're coming to do tonight.
Hey y'all, so I'm Mika. I am a writer at Women's Wrestling Talk, my first time hosting, and we just gonna tell the truth. Honestly, we're here to do what we do. Let me tell you something. When the hoodie strings get pulled, it's time to talk. We finna talk. We finna tell the things. So I hope y'all are ready. I hope y'all enjoyed the show, and we're gonna get into it.
We are gonna get into it. Tag partner, how you doing tonight? We meet again this morning. We had our good old turnbuckle glam, and now we are here for the post show. Tell these folks how you feeling.
I don't feel anything right now. Like look, I'm ready to fight.
Wow.
When I say ready to fight, like I'm ready to throw some hands at two people.
Wow.
Two people, I'm ready to throw hands at.
There's one for me, and we can square up whenever.
Well, listen, let's let these good people know what we're here to do. Okay, just a briefing of everything that happened. It was a small match card tonight. However, small is not the word to compare the amount of, just twists and turns. And I really genuinely did not know what was going on. I want to start with this because this right here is probably what got me a little pissed. Can someone please explain to me what in the hell is going on?
I got 4 words for you. Betrayal of the century. That's what happened. That's it.
And I have more words. This is who I want to fight. Straight up.
Which one?
The one that's standing there.
You know the one.
It doesn't matter who. It's just really the one that's standing there.
Okay.
Like, he knows exactly who he is. I can care less about the Warriors, Paul Heyman. Okay. He ain't somebody that I want to fight right now. Because we've had this conversation before when we talk about the whole Brock and Paul Heyman and Roman thing. It was just a great time to see Brock and Paul Heyman be back together again. But honestly, truly, Paul Heyman is the devil. He is the devil. He is the mastermind. He is the reason why Roman is still being relevant once again, if we're being honest. Because like I tell everybody, and I've argued with I don't know how many people today to let them know how much I understand y'all may think that he's okay, he's still champion and whatnot. However, his title reign has been pretty stale.
Not the jacket.
His title reign has been pretty stale. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, his title reign has been stale. It's boring. It needs something new. The only reason why it was still being a little bit worth watching is the fact that you had Paul Heyman by your side. And now you have Paul Heyman by your side once again. But this man portrayed you, unless this was the whole thing that you guys came up with, made some like, we're gonna play on this, so I'm gonna fire you. You're gonna go back with Brock. You're gonna give Brock the title, and I'm just gonna mess up the whole thing with you and Bobby, which I feel like that match there could have been something without the interference.
I agree, but I do think it was orchestrated. I think this was the plan from the beginning. I think this was the whole Paul Heyman was behind this the entire time. I feel like it, and it had to be. He was on the bump earlier crying about his tribal chief. Mm-hmm. So this was absolutely orchestrated. It played out perfectly, and he's back where he want to be, right beside Roman, and he temporarily eliminated his biggest threat. But we'll get into temporarily shortly.
That's a good segue, and to be honest, I'm gonna let y'all hold it down over there at that post show with Roman and Rampage. I don't like to, give Roman too much of my time. So let's just talk about this entrance that we had. Santana, I know you were really in awe of this. This is a moment.
Let me tell you something. Seth making that Shield entrance, having on the gear. Even if he had dyed his hair that little patch blonde, it would have been the ice on the cake. But I know, bleaching your hair blonde, it's not really good. It can damage a lot, so I can understand. But I don't care. Seth made that gear look so good, like better than Roman ever thought he could have. And that's just pure honesty.
That is honesty.
And I just feel as if like him coming out in the Shield theme song, the whole entire gear, it was everything. It was better than the time that Roman took to get to the doggone ring tonight. Like it played on really well. I mean, you're bringing up something from your past where it's like, this is where it all began. You're still upset at the fact that I turned my back on you and Mox, and I became obviously the favorite of the Shield anyway. I've continued to be successful way past you. Okay, you may have defeated The Undertaker and now claim that this was your yard, but it still had no substance, nothing. Seth has been through many gimmicks, and each one he elevated. Roman is just on his second one. Right now, it's something that's sticking. Who is Roman if he's not holding his title? If he's not holding if he doesn't have Paul Heyman in his corner, or he doesn't have the bloodline? Seth still remains to be relevant without even holding a title or being in a feud. He has that. He's built himself that way. Roman is just starting. So y'all can stop your pity party, because y'all only care about this man because of what he got going on in his real life. Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
You do bring up a good point. I will say I saw in the comments someone say that this was a tease to formerly known superstar Dean Ambrose, who's known as John Moxley now. It was a playoff of that. I did think that maybe we were going to get it because this forbidden door seems to be cracked open. It doesn't seem to be. And when I say cracked, I mean like really, like honestly, like just enough for Mickie James to get through at this point. But I really think it's really captivating again to see just, I mean, everything about this picture, just history, and I mean, just a time that we're in. Mika, do you have any thoughts on the match or any thoughts on Seth Rollins losing? I mean,
the match was a banger. I'm so glad that they started with that match. We were talking about it kind of on Clubhouse, and when they announced it, I was like, okay, And Roman came out first. And I distinctly remember my son Jalen saying, Roman coming out first. Oh, Lord, this ain't good. He gonna lose. And then that music hit. Let me tell you something about this feud and the one with Brock and Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
WWE is doing something very well right now, and that's blurring the lines of who you're supposed to cheer for. Because just like at the end of the Brock Bobby match, Bobby is high-fiving people as he's walking out. And this is your heel. This is the Almighty. On the same flip side, Seth and Roman are both supposed to be heels, or, Seth's supposed to be a tweener. But the way that he used that psychology against Roman and drug it out and made him sit in that to make him break by the end of the match to where he will disqualify himself because he won't let me let it go. That is heel mastermind top tier content. And at the end of it, you're like, who's the bad guy? Do you feel sorry for Roman because he's having clearly a mental break? Or are you sorry for Seth because he shouldn't have lost? Like, he deserved a fair. You don't know. You're just watching because you enjoy it. And I don't tend to toot the horn for WWE a lot because they know what they do well. They got their method and they do that. But this was masterful. And if they come together like we think they're going to come together at WrestleMania, it's mind-blowing. So the match was amazing.
You know what? And they kind of did that with this next match as well. Of course, with Bobby and Brock at the end, we do see Roman, and it's almost, in my opinion, juvenile. Honestly speaking, I think that it works. And of course, we see and new WWE champion.
Black man, two-time.
This is, I mean, and honestly, this man was going into WrestleMania in almost the same path last year.
Yeah.
But does it really matter? Because we get to the men's Royal Rumble after all of this. And who would have thought in 20 years later of someone's career in the WWE, and y'all know I love Brock Lesnar. I don't care. I will die on this hill. This is my guy. Okay. I put this man over Undertaker. Please quote me. Please. I don't care what you do. I put this man over a lot of people. This is what we left with. This is what we were left with.
Let me just say, let me sneak this in here because I got to. I called this. When he lost that match, I said, now watch him come out the Rumble number 30 and win. And what happens? And so to answer your earlier question, I think it does matter because now Bobby has won and Brock's sights are not even on Bobby for a rematch right now. Brock's sight is on Roman. So for the time being, while that beast is roaming around, Bobby is not really his number one issue. So he can go and enjoy his championship and mind his business a little bit because Brock has one thing on his mind, and that's revenge. And if we know anything about Brock, he gets his revenge. So
I don't know, but I have to disagree just a little bit. I do think he is still on the path of Bobby. I don't think this automatically sets us up for, again, Roman and Brock. I do still think he wants to have another moment with Bobby. I'm not saying that he's not going to come looking for Roman. Santana, what do you think is next? What transpired in your mind when you saw it? Honestly,
I mean, can we really just say this was predictable?
It was.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
well, can we say it's predictable while we were watching? Not days. I feel like days leading up into it, it wasn't that predictable. Or do you disagree?
No, I mean, honestly, truly, let's be honest. A lot of times when people be in these world title matches and they lose, where do they go? To the Rumble. It happens every time. It's very cliche. And sometimes they end up winning. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, of course, as soon as Brock came out, everybody else in the ring, it didn't even matter anymore. It didn't matter who it did. It didn't matter. They wasn't gonna let Brock come out as number 30 after he lost his title and not win.
Right.
There's absolutely no way.
Right.
Like no. Now it would have been really interesting, like if he did come out there and Drew beat him, but that Drew's not even. He's not even like the big star right now where people kind of like care for it like that. Maybe just me. But I mean, with Brock winning, it's great, but it doesn't make me feel excited because it's just like you kind of just knew that this was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what's next afterwards? I mean, of course, he does have his unfinished business with Roman. Obviously, he does have his unfinished business with Roman, and who knows exactly where it's gonna go. But I'm pretty sure Seth is not done being in the mind of Roman Reigns. I mean, Roman had to interfere in somebody else's match, you know, that was going pretty well. So I thought, you know, but here we are, you know. So, and I think maybe Brock could want another moment with Bobby, but I don't know if that's really likely. I guess I would really need to see how everything pretty much plays out to see if there is some type of interaction somewhere. But I mean, now Bobby can say he did beat Brock, you know.
Technically.
And can we please stop saying that Seth lost because he didn't lose? Okay, Roman got disqualified. Seth won the match. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time. Any last thoughts on the men's Royal Rumble?
I'm happy for Bad Bunny.
I was gonna say
for Bad
I
Bunny.
was
Let me
gonna
tell
say
you,
it. The baddest of Bunny.
love him. Y'all don't know how much I love Bad Bunny. I don't think y'all do. Like, I am a Bad Bunny stan account for real.
You know what? No, like a lot of people here, Women's Wrestling Talk, Leslie just bought her tickets for the concert. So Bad Bunny is definitely big. Bad Bunny, if you're listening, we love you over here. Women's
We love you. Let me tell you something.
Definitely geared the night for me too for the men. If we were doing anything with Turnbuckle Glam for the men,
Bad Bunny will always come out.
Yeah, he definitely gives, and of course Seth Rollins, he looked amazing as well. Always damper.
I just want to say, Bad Bunny, anyone that can take an F5 like you did is certified. Because there are people on the main roster right now that still have never taken an F5 for real. So shout out to that man. Shout out to his dedication and his work ethic. I love that for him. Anytime he want to come back, I support it. And I just know I was screaming "Run Bunny" as soon as Brock came out because I didn't want.
Yeah, I was like, Bunny, look, you got a tour that you got to take care of. You can't be out here taking these F5s. But he sold it really, really well. I was shocked to see Shane McMahon. I guess they cut the camera when he supposed to do his little dance he always do. But
I'm not even gonna bring. I'm not even like I don't even want to talk about Shane because Shane came and eliminated one of my heroes, someone Canada's own, very proud, someone that I love dearly and truly, and that's Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens was screwed. Sami Zayn screwed. I want to ask that question since I'm talking about some of my favorites being screwed. Do you guys, and I want to shake the room, I love it. You know, I got to play devil's advocate, and I want to know in the comments too. Was Big E screwed?
Yes.
And is Big E screwed out of a title?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Come on, Randy. You did not have to do him like that.
He was put on the back burner. You
could have took out Shane. You could have took out your own tag partner.
You could have just not messed with that man first. You could have just went for anybody else.
It sucks. I mean, I was rooting for Biggie, but I mean, if Biggie was still in that match and Brock had came out, I mean, I would have been like really, really nervous. I really would have.
I agree.
Really would have been nervous. I was nervous the whole night because I didn't even know who was going to win.
So
Kofi got screwed too, though. Because it's like, damn. Like,
and I don't know if it was because of the injury. His ribs are still bothering him and stuff like that. He's working through injury. and I don't know if he just wasn't able, because I feel like he was supposed to not touch the ground.
I think
But
so too. But
his feet just hit, and I'm just like, I was like, I literally was saying, "Oh, he makes me so happy when he comes out," and then it was like eliminated. I was like,
they
"No!"
should never did that replay. They wrong for that because
They wrong for that. The slow
why
mo.
was y'all showing a replay
Yeah.
for what? Rude.
I'm curious. Do we see Big E as a contender in the Elimination Chamber as well?
I think so because doesn't the person who wins the Elimination Chamber, don't they get a title opportunity too? I think
Typically,
so.
how
That's
I've
the only thing I
remembered it
noticed.
working is how like you basically. So like when Shayna won,
Mhm.
obviously she went to Becky because that was the brand, but it was also, you know, there was already other things going on with the other champions at the time. I think it is brand based. So whatever
Wins.
brand you're on or whatever brand it's represented, I don't think we even
Yeah,
know
but I know
that.
sometimes in money, I mean not money, but in Elimination Chamber, sometimes whoever the champion is, you know, if they choose to be entered into that match,
That's true.
Right.
that's normally how it would really go. Like the title would be on the line, and then you have other people that, you know, gunning for your title and whatnot. So I know sometimes that does happen.
That is
I know they
very
kind of switched it up when they don't have the title, the champion in there. It's just be like 6 like contenders in there, fighting for a title or a title opportunity. You know, same thing like kind of what happened with Kofi and whatnot, and so on and so forth. But I mean, I would love to see Big E in the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
And I mean, if he wins, which I mean, I would love to honestly, since I've seen Big E be a champion, it just doesn't feel right seeing him with the New Day like that. It really doesn't. It really degrades who he was pushed and built up to be, just for him to go right back down to just being a part of the New Day again.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, we spent a lot of time talking about the men. Any predictions on who else may go into the chamber before we wrap up the Royal Rumble men's?
I don't
Would you
really-
rather? Well, let me ask you this, and then we can end it up. Would you rather see Bobby put his title in the Elimination Chamber or Roman?
Roman, get his goof up in there.
But what if he wins?
He ain't.
Well, somebody that I thought wasn't going to win tonight, a power couple known as the Grit Couple, proved me wrong and had their little moment. Yeah. Before I listen, I'm going to turn it over because I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to say this. Edge did not need to win. There was no reason for this match to go the way that it did. When Miz and Maurice were in the ring and had it, they should have ended it there. I just don't understand the significance of Edge winning or Beth winning. If we get nothing from this, I do think that no matter what, win or loss, this couple will always be the superior couple in WWE. I'm not going to say in wrestling right now, but I'm just going to say in WWE, this is the it couple, and they should have won. And this is the one thing that really made me, I'm going to go ahead and say it, it grinded my freaking gears. And I'm not happy with it. I'm not. And I turn it over to everybody. Because
happy.
I don't care. I'm
It
upset.
was a fun moment. You know, it was a fun moment to see. I mean, I was happy to see Maurice and Beth have some type of, you know, interaction. A lot of it felt a little sloppy. It was just like, yeah, okay.
For me, I would be honest, there was no, on the flip side, there was no benefit for anybody winning this match. Even if Miz and Maurice had won, it wouldn't have mattered. It was just a match, is what it was. It was a match. It was a fun moment. We got Beth and Maurice both back. We don't know for how long, so we have to relish the fact that they were both in the ring together. You know, their husbands were there. It was a moment. It was a moment in history, and I don't think it was much more than that, if we're being honest. It was just a match. I'm happy with the outcome, but that's one of the matches that I'm actually am happy about because we don't want to. I'll save my rant for later. But yeah, just on the flip side, I feel like they both came out giving the looks. Miz and Maurice looked like the it couple with their red on. They were stunning. They were gorgeous. Edge and Beth came out looking like the grit couple. Still very, very nice looking, but just a little grimier, meet me in the back alley version. And
Right.
they did what they came to do. They put on a match. They broke up the, monotony, and we moved on. So
Yeah, Beth looked great though. She really did.
She did.
She did.
She definitely did. But you still no it couple in my book, buddy. I loved it. I mean, it was a great moment. I just it didn't hit the same the way that Miz and Maurice hit with Brie and Bryan Danielson for me. That was a top tier. I would love to see a triple threat couples match. I also would love to see Miz and Maurice get in the ring or have feuds with cross promotions. I'm not gonna name any names. But I would love to see a few things happen if possible. Any last thoughts on this match? I know you guys.
Leave the couple matches alone. Like,
Yeah.
they don't really do nothing for me.
If they would do cross promotion, that would be sick.
I don't even think cross promotions would make me care even more.
Probably not. You're not.
There's only one couple that'll make me care, and y'all know who it is. Bianca and Tess. Now, if we're gonna see them team up and get in the ring, I'm gonna watch that. But
that's probably
other than that,
man. If that's the case, bring back the mismatch tag match then. That's the case. We're gonna do some stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those were fun. Don't get me wrong.
Those were fun.
But they also weren't really couples either. I think the only couple that was together was Naomi and Jimmy.
Yeah. And we definitely have more couples.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. We definitely do. Well, we are done with the men, speaking of the couples, and I am very excited to move on to what's about to happen because nothing happened in the women's division in WWE tonight but debacle, shame, craziness, nothing but the four, as I like to call it. I want to get into this match first. And still, your Raw Women's Champion. Did we think this was going to go other way? I mean, honestly, did we really think that Doudrop was going to win? Honestly.
I don't even know what I was doing when this match came on. I'm just going to be honest. I don't know what I was doing, but I was here for this match. I saw some little parts, but then afterwards, I really don't even remember Becky winning until I saw the highlight.
Right.
And I was like, okay. I mean, it sound good, what they put together in the video package, but other than that, it was just like, Becky had to come out of some arsenal. I mean, she did her little this Umber, submission that she hasn't done in a long time. But it wasn't I wouldn't say it was a bad match. It was definitely better than what she gave with Leo. Because you in the ring with somebody who can actually wrestle. Let's start there. But I mean, other than that, I don't think.
Hey! Save the Liv slander for later.
I know, no, I'm not. We're saving it for later. But I'm just saying, like, no, I don't think nobody really cared about this match. Honestly, like nobody really cared. I didn't care, but it is what it is. Yeah. When she move on and figure out who her next opponent would be. So here we are.
I do want to pose the question because I love playing devil's advocate. Why wasn't it Becky? Why wasn't it Becky in the Royal Rumble with her title?
I don't know, Nikki. Maybe you should ask Becky why she chose not to be in the Royal Rumble and why.
I want to know. Would you guys have wanted to see that? No. Like both of them, or
I don't care. I mean, hey, I feel like it would have made a lot of sense if they were going to bring back who they brought back tonight.
Yes,
wasting my time.
Which we will get to. I can't wait to unravel this.
It's a no for me. But I feel like that's too vulnerable of a position for Becky because the thing that they are tooting about Becky right now, and I don't talk much about Becky, so take a picture. She's undefeated. That's putting her in a big, dangerous position for something to happen, and they don't want to sully Miss Undefeated Becky. So no, they left her out. What I wanted her to be in the Rumble, no, she wouldn't have added anything for me. So that's it on that. We can move on.
I really love how the tables have really turned in a sense, because there was this moment where Becky was almost the most liked possession for the WWE, their prized possession. And it seems very differently now. I personally thought the match was good. I definitely thought it was better than what it was given in the live match. I also, anybody knows this, I don't bet against the 4 in any capacity. I would have loved to see Becky get into the match, even Doudrop get into the Royal Rumble match as well. But we got a glimpse of Becky leaving. And it really looks like Doudrop really took Becky to the limits. I will say, ending this match, Doudrop has been one of the most toughest competitors we've seen really take Becky to a different level. You know, especially, I mean, when we've never really, and this is just my opinion, I don't think we've ever really gotten to see Becky and Bianca officially. Like on an actual, I mean, we got it that night on Raw, but I don't think we've ever really gotten it. And I don't really think that we've really even scratched the surface of what Becky and Bianca can do. So I really think that Doudrop she put up a good fight. So let's move on to the last match of the night that we have to break down. Personally, I didn't care about anything in this match besides the 13-time women's champion, the 2-time NXT women's champion, your Royal Rumble winner already, Charlotte Flair. And I cannot honestly even believe that this was the final 2. What are you, before we get into the whole thing, I gotta know, like, surprise, surprise.
Anyway, forget all that. Can I just talk about how good Melina looked? I don't care about well, I don't care about the final 2, but I just want to talk about how good Melina looked. She looked really good. It was a great moment. Sonya, you can taste the bottom of the dirt of my shoes, you dirty, distasteful Corella DeVille, because I don't understand what your issue still is with Naomi. You lost the match. Why are you costing her opportunity? You know what I'm saying? That was why you got eliminated by keep it moving. I mean, I feel like the Rumble for the women, they had some really great moments. They really did. I feel like I think some people should have not been in the Rumble. Like, I'm tired of seeing Molly Holly. She's great. She's a great person, but I'm tired of seeing her. Like, y'all could have used that for some girl down in NXT or something.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing Ivory in the Right to Censor gear, it was a cute moment. I adore Ivory. She was one of my favorites back in the day. But they didn't do nothing. Happy to see Alicia Fox. I mean, she's always great to see. Cameron, not so much. But kudos to those who adore Cameron and all of the funkadactylness she brought to the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see who else came out. Of course, I'm always happy to see Lita. Lita is one of my favorites. Happy to see that. We had Mickie James come out there and didn't even cross paths with Charlotte Flair. Like, what was the point of even having her be there and have this situation that they had on social media, and they didn't even breathe the same air as each other? It's like they walked past each other. Like, this was a hallway. They was talking crazy to each other on social media, and they was about to fight in school, but nothing transpired, and everybody just got their phones out waiting for something to happen. You know? Of course, Liv Morgan. I mean,
I've been waiting on this. Listen, shout out to the Bella Twins for this.
Yo,
Loser of the year. Hello.
Oh yeah, Sarah Logan.
Sarah Logan came back.
Came back.
She needed help.
Did one thing, and guess what happened?
Hilarious.
Loser. She got kicked out. I mean, she looked good though. Don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
She did look
She
nice.
definitely did.
However, you and your friend went out. I was so happy when Liv Morgan got eliminated. You guys have no idea. Because why was she in the Rumble that long? She only needed to be in there for 8 seconds and be tossed over the top rope.
Well, it's the fact that we had to sit through so many people saying that she was actually going to win.
And look what happened. Look at you. You look so dumb right now. Like, how could you think that Liv Morgan was going to win? Come on now.
I mean, look at this face.
Look at it. Look, first of all, Sasha Banks, hello, being number one. And I wish you had a picture of her being eliminated. But
I'm gonna reserve my comments for Sasha Banks, to be honest, because like I feel like that is crazy. Honestly.
That's the funniest thing ever. Y'all really, please.
How are you feeling, Mika? Were there any moments where you felt like, or were there any spots that you felt like could have maybe been replaced with, somebody else? I'm really sad to see not to see Dakota Kai like that.
We could have had EO in there somewhere.
Yeah, I saw the comment that said that the NXT women weren't ready. There are a lot that weren't, but you do still have Mandy down there. You have Raquel down there. You have Dakota down there. So I don't think that's fair. There were a couple women that probably were ready and could have went and have been in Rumbles before.
Dakota.
I want to shout out Foxy. Foxy looked great when she came out. I'm trying, y'all.
I'm sorry, real quick.
That is the face of a loser.
This is the face of WWE.
That was a lot of y'all pick, and that's crazy to me because she said that in an interview recently that she was going to be standing tall, pointing at the WrestleMania sign, eliminating all her opponents.
Well, that's the same thing she said about being Becky. She said she was going to be standing. She said she was going to be standing there with the Royal Women's title, and that didn't happen. She said she was going to be standing there with the tag team titles, and that didn't happen. Like, this woman has a history of not fulfilling her promises to her fans, so maybe her fans should think about that.
You guys should be embarrassed to claim her.
But my biggest issue, I'm choosing my words, y'all. I'm choosing my words. You had one of your brightest stars eliminated by a part-timer that doesn't even feel like they need to go and work on their skills. Bianca, not that she should have, I mean, she was my pick. She could have won. Yes. Rhea could have won. Yes. There are a lot of women who are active every day on the roster, putting in work that could have won. Asuka could have came back. We didn't get to see Alexa. Alexa wasn't ready. They had that whole thing transpire, but Sasha got eliminated so early in the Rumble, she couldn't even contribute to what was going on with that. Shayna came, but it wasn't significant as it should have been with Ronda in the ring. I will say this. I have a problem with Ronda Rousey being here. I don't care who like it. I don't care who don't. I don't feel like anybody should be put on the back burner for a temporary cash grab and a pop for her to go to WrestleMania and then disappear again. Especially when you do not invest in the time that it takes to be a safe and productive worker like these girls do every day. Women do every day, day in and day out. So it's not just that Ronda showed up, because my husband will tell you, my face was gone. We were eating dinner. My appetite was gone. I have been saying this all week that I felt like she was going to show up, and she did. And a show up is fine, but to have her win and to go over on women who actually could have used that. We're supposed to build stars with the Rumble win. You're not building somebody who already thinks they're in the rafters, who already thinks they're the biggest thing out here. So for me, it's one of the problems for me when they put the well-being of their stars' careers ahead of, well, behind money. I will say that. And to Tamara, who said that about Nia, Nia said, "Let her know when you see her in the Rumble," because she made it very clear that she was not coming back. So she was like, "Y'all tell me when you see me." So the spot with Mickie James was interesting. That Lita was the one that eliminated her. That was interesting. It was a nice move. But Mickie was there, and she could have, gave us something. It was interesting that WWE let her wear the Impact Knockouts Championship to the ring. That was interesting. You know how they are about other brands being showcased.
Music too, though.
Exactly. They let her have Hardcore Country. So I don't know if that was.
Acknowledge it. I knew once they acknowledged it the night that Charlotte announced it and everything, I knew she was going to be able to bring her title because of the representation that they were giving her. If you're going to recognize it, you got to show it, because then people are going to be like, well, hell, she's a champion. You said she's a champion. Where the hell's her belt?
Right.
Well, that's the case. They should have let Dana bring her 24 title out then. She's a champion too. She
is. That is true.
And
I didn't even notice that
title is out.
Have her title.
I didn't even know
the title is out. Shenanigans happened, so I think they were trying to keep the shenanigans to a minimum tonight.
I personally didn't even realize that her title wasn't with her.
Oh yeah, they didn't have it.
To be honest,
her nor Reginald. Reggie came out with her, and nobody was holding it.
Highlight for me was Charlotte eliminating Lita. Thank God. Trish, saw you at home with your coffee mug and all that. I just want to say this. I'm glad you stayed home. You would have been tossed out like your friend. Follow me here.
Shout out to Bailey, also watching from home.
She just knocked off the ring.
She was tossed out she was eliminated by Charlotte.
She was.
What the assist real?
Bye. See you later. To everyone who was sitting there bugging everybody wherever I was in the Discord, on Twitter, talking about Lita and Charlotte. Lita. No, it's time to go home. Okay? It was a great moment. And here we are. And when I say here we are, this is where we are. Whether people like it or not, whether it builds anything, whether somebody becomes a star or even become injured, this is not what I was expecting, honestly speaking. Am I upset? I can't say that I am. What I am is I am surprised. And what I'm surprised at is the fact that it was the Queen that was at the final two. I don't think I saw that coming. The Queen was the MVP of this Royal Rumble. She dominated. When people were marching down, Charlotte was taking care of business. And she may not have taken care of Ronda tonight. And as bad as I want to see Charlotte and Sasha go at it at WrestleMania, I just don't know where this is going. So I mean, I just want to know who currently does Ronda pick? Does she go with Charlotte? Or does she go with Becky? Because tomorrow, we got Monday Night Raw first.
Mm-hmm.
So will we see
Monday?
Will we see her on Monday?
She's supposed to be there Monday.
Oh, it's already been announced.
Monday. They've already said that she will be there Monday. The Royal Rumble winner, Ronda Rousey, will be there on Monday. What is she going to say or do? Who really knows? I could probably care less. Where she needs to go is back to the ring in Performance Center and get it together, because how do you leave, thrash a company, you come back and you come out looking like that and you still wrestle the same exact way? Her winning doesn't do anything. It doesn't. I mean, okay, the crowd was excited to see her, great, but it doesn't do anything. She doesn't do anything that make me feel like, oh, yay, it's Ronda Rousey. I'm so happy that she's here with us. I'm so happy to see her wrestle some other new girls. Get in the ring with Bianca Belair. How about that?
I actually don't get in the ring with Bianca Belair, because if you injure her, it's going to be big trouble in Little China. So actually stay as far away
from
her
with her braid. How about that? Beat her senseless with her braid. How about that?
I don't know. They favorite will be there, and they'll be tuning in for her. She definitely doesn't give me anything, any more reason to watch or any more motivation to be like, ooh, I gotta watch Raw.
It doesn't matter how long she had to train. It's the fact of even before she had the baby, she still couldn't wrestle.
I think if she would have, people would respect Ronda more
if she cared and treated.
if she went to NXT, like kind of how Shayna did. I do think that a lot of people would.
I think if Ronda actually cared about WWE, they treated her with the utmost respect as a Raw Women's Champion. They really did treat her really, really good. But for her to sit here and act as if like, oh, wrestling is fake, it's this. You sit here and say all these negative things about the WWE, but you got your ass back up in here. You got you back up in here.
Right. Well, but to that point though, Mickie James kind of did the same thing. So
Mickie James was put out, but also
I mean, she was, but she
was put out with her belongings in that glad bag. But
she still made comments, and still, when the opportunity was risen, she took it. All I'm saying is, as far as the wrestling goes, when it comes to Ronda, my point was to NXT, like Shayna, was if she would have ran the ropes in NXT, I think she would have been way much more of a better wrestler than she is today. I don't think
that's what I was gonna say. Even if they told her, okay, well, maybe not NXT, but at least go to the Performance Center, because they asked her to go to the Performance Center and she told them no. Even if you just would have attempted to grasp the basics of wrestling before you decided, no, I don't need that, I'm going to just get out here, we can have a little more respect for you. I'm not even saying you have to do a whole tour in NXT. You're Ronda Rousey. People like you. They want to see you. I said people because I'm not in that group. But, people want to see what you got. But at least care enough about what you're doing now to put 2 seconds in and go to the Performance Center for a couple weeks. Bad Bunny went to the Performance Center for a couple weeks.
And it showed.
You were a champion. Like, there's no reason that Bad Bunny moved to Florida for a month to train and can give us what he gave us. And you have been here before, still giving us H&M and joggers and poorly thrown punches. I can't go up for that. So, but hey, like I said, I'm excited for those who are Ronda fans. Y'all do what y'all do. Go hard for your girl. Tune in to see her, keep her relevant. So,
I mean, she definitely causes. Tonight was definitely not what I was expecting to see. Her win. I will say this though. I knew once they got to the final two, Charlotte wasn't going to win. Yeah. It would have been nice if she would have actually. It would have been Bianca at the end. That would have been nice. That would have been played. But now we're just left in confusion. So, any last thoughts before we biz on out of here?
Roman is still weak. Okay. Wow. At the end of the day, sorry, Tamara. I know how much you love that man, and I know how much guys get bonus about him too. However, like I said, that man is still weak. Okay, Seth is making this man relevant. Everybody that he's been in a feud with has continued to make his title reign relevant, because if he didn't have all these people to beat, what will we have? Once again, who is Roman Reigns without his title, without Paul Heyman, without the bloodline? Who is he? Because if he didn't have any of that, he'll be just another big guy trying to get to the top.
Yep.
Sorry, Tamara.
It's a sorry tomorrow for me. Mika, any closing thoughts before we get out of here?
Last thoughts. Let's see. Bobby Lashley looked great in white. Bianca Belair always looks phenomenal. The frog splash that Montez Ford hit before getting eliminated was masterful. I think he has the best frog splash and the most height in the business right now. And you can argue with your mama about it if you don't agree. I am excited for Doudrop's future. She showed that Piper is not a thing of the past. She is still a great wrestler. She puts on matches, and I love that for her. Shout out to Big Girls. And Big E. There's just not much more to say other than Big E. I mean, if you wanted to go big, just say so. So,
Well, listen, I only got one thing to say. Your fave could never.
baby, she
She's
looked
the
amazing.
most
He really
decorated,
did.
the most decorated wrestler in sports entertainment. And no matter what, win or loss, she will be main eventing. I can't say that for everybody.
It's facts.
You guys it's been a pleasure. Make sure you guys check out our post shows for Raw on Monday with me and Leslie. Make sure you guys check out the post show for SmackDown and Rampage with none other than Santana and Stephanie. It's been a pleasure, Mika, having you on. I hope to see you soon. And you guys can always make sure you guys follow all of us, all the social media platforms for Women's Wrestling Talk. And remember, we are the number one women's wrestling show on the planet. Until next time, you
Women's
guys.
Wrestling Talk, the number one women's wrestling show on the planet.